Alright, this is going to be the second video on the infotainment screens. So 8-inch there, I think 10-inch here. Just starting straight off the bat here. To use this in the driver's display, you use these toggles here. Let's go through the menus first of all. So that is my trip meter at the moment. And then you can change to your speedometer and then your driving style, economical, normal, and aggressive, depending on how you're driving, the car calculates. And this is just an animation of how it's working. I'll shift it into gear to show that the battery energy is going into the front wheels. And then when it comes to braking and regen though, the opposite happens. While I'm in reverse, this is what the reverse camera looks like. You've got good HD quality guiding lines. You don't have distance, but it does give you beepings here in case you are nearby an object. So back into park mode to continue. The other graph is your energy consumption. This is, trust me, at an all-time high right now because I am testing and keeping the car on for like B-roll and taking footage. You have your distance to empty here. This is your battery gauge. And then your temperature, your mode, your odometer, 60,000 kilometers. I've put a speed limit in 90 in eco mode. And then on the left hand side are your buttons. So no seatbelts on, your parking brake is on, your handbrake, and then the amount of power I put in to the accelerator. So again, shifting into D. Do you see that? Yep, that's basically it. And that was enough to do a wheel spin. So again, like in my review, 395 newton meters of torque is more than ample. So I'm going to shift modes pressing this. So this is the economy. This is the comfort where your speed is shown. And again, here efficiency isn't the main focus. And then here is your comfort mode. And here's your sports mode. So you have your power, like what percentage of the accelerator are you pressing, and then your speedometer. So it's a bit misleading sometimes because I have the accelerator pushed in all the way and the needle will be showing all the way here, but your speed is actually shown in the middle. So just be mindful of that. And then back to eco mode where I think I usually keep it here. And then pressing this will take you to the next side menu, which is your TPMS. The car does not like it going below 32. And here is your menus, like all the things in the car that you can utilize and change. Your door, so auto lock and unlock. Your lights. One touch turn signals, like how many beeps do you want it, 3, 5, or 7 flashes. Your headlight display. Then you have your sounds, so like parking distance warning sounds. How loud do you want it? I just keep them in the lowest. And then your convenience, so basically do you want your wireless charging system on, your wipers, your auto rear, do you want that automatic or manual, and then your gear position pop up. Then your service interval, it's going to give you a reminder. So at the moment I've done every 4,000 kilometers and 4 months, but again according to your dealer. And then going back, I am toggling everything via these buttons here. You have others, which is basically your energy consumption. Do you want it reset after each ignition, or do you want it after each recharge? So I've left it at that, or just turned off completely. So I'm going to go back. Your energy consumption. Do you want it kilometer per kilowatt hour? So how many kilometers Is your car traveling for every kilowatt hour, for every unit of electricity? Or, as I've put it, do you want it in every kilowatt hour for every 100 kilometers? It depends on what you want. Your tire pressure unit in centigrade or Fahrenheit. Oh, sorry, your temperature. This is your tire pressure, PSI, kilopascal, or bar. And then you have, yeah, that's it in other. And then you have utility mode. So utility mode is basically using the high voltage battery underneath when your car is parked. You have AC on, so it doesn't just drain the 12 volt battery in front, but also recharges it at the same time. So I'm keeping it on. This is the difference in display. And then coming to your 8-inch center console, it's wired Apple CarPlay. No wireless here. There is a wireless charger down here though, but if it's plugged, why would you know what I mean? You have a lot of buttons here that I went through in my main review, but I guess I could just start off with Apple CarPlay here. Pretty smooth and everything. Like, again, it depends on your phone's performance, but it does do the trick. It's not the biggest screen out there in the market anymore, 8-inch, but when this car was released back in 2018, and when I bought it a bit later, this was state of the art. And at night, these do light up, so it really helps you. Alright, I'm gonna go back to the Hyundai. I can also press home, by the way. Like, I love that. Home, phone, programmable button, a setup button, your tuner, your power push to power, and then your volume rocker, and then your track seek, and then your media shuffling, and then your radio. I absolutely love that. Also, you have your hazard lights right there. So the basic infotainment screen without the Apple CarPlay is pretty simple. It does accept Android Auto as well. So again, Apple CarPlay, your phone is connected. It does have an inbuilt nav, but for now it's again showing Apple. It does have inbuilt music, but again it's showing Apple. I should probably disconnect it. My menu, so in case you have a USB plugged in there. Also an auxiliary port down there, by the way. And then you have an EV setting at the default. So energy consumption wise, 250 kilometers in 70%. Again, this is from very, very high usage. 30 kilowatt hours almost. So that is, I'm basically just getting 3 kilometers for every unit. My consumption usually is around less than half of this, to be honest. Like, it's usually around 12 kilowatt hours. So this is like crazy high, I know. Hence the lower range value. But still, even in this high consumption, I'm getting about 280 to 300, which is what I told you in my review. With very high aggressive AC usage and everything, you still do get about 280 kilometers. But I personally get close to 310, maybe even 20 sometimes, depending on my usage. Again, it all depends on the AC usage and then how sensitive and brutal you are with that pedal. Not so much this pedal, but that. Anyway, sorry, back onto the infotainment screen. So it shows me how long it takes to DC, and you can also fix your max DC charge percentage. Similar with AC, I'm gonna charge it up to 100 next time just to like reset everything. Then the good thing is it also gives you an estimate. So when AC is input at about 7 kilowatts, it's going to take about 2 hours, but the portable granny 2 kilowatt charger is going to take about nearly 6 hours. So I'm really happy that this is displayed at all times. So when I'm driving in the city and I know it's time to charge, I don't look at the percentage more, but I look more so at the timing, because I usually have about 8 to 10 hours where I can plug in the car after I get home from office until the next morning. So this gives me a good estimate. However, like if I bring this down to the recommended 80%, I know that it's going to take only 2 hours. And heading back to that, you also get another setting to show how many kilograms of carbon dioxide you have saved. So yeah, this is more my energy consumption pattern since 428. So like 11, 12s, 10s, 13s. I have an 18 here. Interesting. And then today is gonna show an outlier called 29. All right, so going back, all menus, there isn't much to it, but again, that was the EV. This is going to take me back to Apple CarPlay or whatever your Bluetooth is connected with. Android Auto, quick guide. Then you have a radio. I'm going to turn that off for now. And then your music, your auxiliary, voice memos, and setup. Not too many different settings on this, but your vehicle settings are here. In eco mode, what all do you want to calibrate your climate control can be put into an eco mode for less energy conservation. Your regen level 2 is what I've set for default, and your max speed limit that I showed you in the beginning of this video. Similar, you can change the things for your comfort and sport mode too. Speaking of which, if you long press this, it'll go into turtle mode to turn off AC and everything. Basically, get to the nearest charger. And then your display settings, whether you want it automatic, your illumination. So I've linked it to illumination of the display cluster. So if I lower this here, this also gets lowered. If I brighten this here, this also gets brightened. And then your default, your sound settings. So your positioning, your volume through phone projection and everything. I don't know why Apple CarPlay's media volume is so low. That's interesting. Your tone equalizer basically, and then your advanced, so speed detection, volume control. And then you have phone projection, obviously. Your home screen layout. So basically, if you want to change any of this, I've just left it like that. And then your date and time settings. So it's a 24-hour clock, well, according to my preferences. Your time, 8 in the morning, your date and day, daylight saving time. I don't know why I have that on, but for, I did not mean to do that. So language, I don't know why I put it in Portuguese, but you have that option. So yeah, I'm gonna look back into this. French, Spanish, Portuguese, and then this is Korean. This is not, I don't know, sorry about that. Please drop me a comment down below to educate me. Your keyboard, do you want it in an Arabic, a QWERTY? What type of keyboard do you want? Screensaver, advanced settings. So your custom button here, I've put it into EV mode. You can change it into different things. Your steering wheel mode. So this button on the steering wheel, what things do you want to shuffle through? I've just put phone projection and Bluetooth audio. Then media change, media notification on top area. That's pretty much it. You also do have system. My storage on this car, it's an old car. It's just 128 MB. Newer cars have 128 GB. I remember the Chang'an Deepal S07 or like the Omoda having like capacity in the gigabytes. And then system default. So yeah, that's pretty much your home screen. Again, I just leave it in Apple CarPlay for the most. And yeah, drop me a comment if you have any questions about this or this. And I will see you on the next one. Peace.